I want to start with last year. And what did you see when it came to poor air quality for last year?
Last year, we had an exceptional events where we had almost 20,000 exceedances of the 1 hour guideline in the province. And it translated to several hours of smoke events that obviously impacted so many people. So we keep a close eye and really have been watching things very closely since that time frame. So far, we've been pretty lucky in 2024. We've had the weekend event, the 2 day event, the May 11th and 12th events that hit us, and it hit us very quickly, and it went away just as quickly.
Yeah. What about previous years?
In the probably one of the worst smoke years that we've seen in the city for sure was 2018. That was when, if you can recall, it was a very interesting atmosphere. We had a very dark time frame when the smoke came in, and it impacted quite a bit during that time frame. But we've kind of seen it kind of go down and up in certain time periods. We definitely want to keep a close eye on the last couple of years where we've seen 2021, 2023, both fairly interesting years, but 23 obviously the worst.
Yeah. How many years of data do you have to reference for this?
For the smoke, I typically go back about 10 years just to have a good handle on that. For weather, we tend to go back over 100 years just to get a good handle on it. For some of our air pollutants, we typically will go back to just before the century, so 1995 timeframe.
Wow. So what really stands out to you when you're looking at comparisons? Like you say, these few years that have been really bad. What about when we go back to the 90s, to the 1990s, things like that? How different is it?
You know, it's interesting. It wasn't so much the PM 2.5, the smoke events that we see. It was some of the other pollutants that we saw that were higher back then, and we've seen them steadily decrease. So we have seen some good improvements in certain aspects, especially our sulfur species, our nitrogen species. We've been seeing some of those decline. But with the smoke events, it really skews a lot of the data when that one drives a lot of our EQHIs that we see.
Out of curiosity, why have those gone down? Those other kind of pollutants, why have they gone down?
You know, just different policies that have been put in place from improvement of technology. We've seen, like you can just imagine a vehicle would have put out for emissions 20 years ago and put it to today where the emission standards are a lot more stringent, and they tend to put out a lot less emissions.
When it comes to air quality, like looking outside, I don't know, I'll use today, looks like a really clear day. Is that a fair measurement of it, or are there other things we should be looking for before we just like go outside and like take deep breaths and say we're okay with the air quality?
It's one of those ones that for sure, when we look at the air and see how clear it is, that's one of the primaries that we look at. The PM 2.5, that smoke events, the haze events, those are the ones that are really going to drive up our EQHI. So we would often say, take a look at the air quality before going out, before doing an activity. And like sitting at 2, 3, you're sitting at very low levels, and you can proceed to do just about anything outside. Once we're starting to creep up into that 7+, that's when we start to take a break and think, do we really want to do a lot of extenuating activities right now?
And quickly, can you explain the rule of threes that you have?
Sure. It was something that we joked about before, but it was the rule of three was always you can go 30 days without food, you can go 3 days without water, try 3 minutes without air. And I would often get my students at the university to try and hold their breath as long as they could.
Oh, and I'm guessing none of them were able to go that long.
No one could go that long.
Yeah, it is a good measurement though, because again, I think it's something that, we take for granted until we have those severe weather events, right? Or those severe air events when, like you say, like it's very apocalyptic outside and it really changes that. Thank you so much for your time, Kevin. This is a really interesting, very topical thing for us to be talking about. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time.